The First Minister says Scotland could choose to follow European Union regulations if the UK diverges after the Brexit transition period. The EU chief negotiator, Michel Barnier, has warned that the UK must maintain regulations and standards in return for a free trade deal.
Nicola Sturgeon was in Brussels today meeting Mr Barnier and told an audience that Scotland has never needed the EU more. Well, our political editor Colin Mackay has been watching the speech. Colin, what did the First Minister have to say?
Well, first of all, last week we heard from the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, setting out what he wants at the end of this Brexit transition year. He wants a Canada-style trade deal, but he also got a very stark warning from the European Union that they won't accept anything from the UK that undermines the single market. As you said, the First Minister is in Brussels today. She was meeting Michel Barnier, the EU's chief negotiator, but then, in a speech to EU diplomats, she made Scotland's position clear, that Scotland would be willing to diverge from the UK's position on things like food standards and the environment if the UK diverges from the European position, because she wants Scotland to maintain access as much as she can to the European market.
As the EU continually makes clear, the more we diverge from EU standards, the less access we'll have to the single market. So the right to diverge will come at a cost, a very heavy cost, in fact, in my view, a cost that is too heavy.
There's also been a bit of a row today in Brussels. There was reports this morning that the European Commission had reported the Scottish Government to the Belgian police because of a light show that they'd projected onto the European Commission saying Scotland loves Europe on the day of Brexit, the 31st of January. Now, that would have been pretty embarrassing for the First Minister on the day of this visit, on the day of her meeting with Michel Barnier, except that it simply isn't true. I've spoken to the European Commission this afternoon, and they said that the stunt was so short-lived that they just didn't bother reporting it to the police.
Colin Holyrood, many thanks for that.